Hey everybody, it's the Shark Scrapper. You just never know what's going to happen at some of these construction sites. I talked to the manager about getting permission to go through their bin and get their scrap metal and wire. And he said, hey, come here, take a look at this stuff. Next thing you know, I'm working on a bunch of great big light poles. Come on, let's dive in and see how this turned out. You never know what the shark is going to feed on next, but you can stay informed by subscribing to this channel. Ring that bell with the all indicator so you don't miss a single feeding session. And of course, tell all your friends because, hey, everybody likes watching animals eat, right? Alright, well here was my surprise project. I was talking to the foreman here on this job site, and he brought me back here and he said, hey man, if you want these you can have them. We're not going to reuse them, so they're all yours. I just checked the bodies and they're non-magnetic, so I'm assuming these are some sort of cast aluminum type material. You can see there's a heavy gauge Romex type wire running down there with the light sockets. So I need to get these cut so they'll fit in the truck. And then there's some conduit laying there, right? So we got some conduit there, and then we've got these guys that need to get cut up. So this will be a fun project. Keep me busy for a while, and I'll keep y'all posted. Alright, so been at it for a couple hours, and most of that was because I was trying to use up an old blade before I put a new blade on the Sawzall, or reciprocating saw. And once I put the new blade on, I was able to go much faster. What we're getting out of the lamppost is a cast aluminum base, the aluminum tube for the pole itself. Of course, good heavy copper wire, and this is thick core. Oops, here we are. Hopefully you can see that's solid core. That should strip down to bare bright. There's some electrical sockets and outlets that I need to work on. The caps are aluminum, so there's more aluminum. The actual light fixture itself is interesting because it's very heavy, and it's got these Allen screws for holding everything together. I need to work on those because those of course are corroded and locked up, so I want to bust into those and see what's in those before I just throw them in with shred, because I'm sure there's going to be something in there that's interesting, some sort. I have no idea what it is yet. What a profound statement. And then look at this, here are some big ass light bulbs. Okay, pardon the expression, but man, that is a big light bulb. I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to do with these. I can always chuck them in the bin here at the dumpster here at the construction site, but if anybody knows how to get some value out of these before I go at it, you know, I'll be interested in that. I'm looking in here for things like silver contacts, and there might be one right there. So I'm not sure if that right up there, if you can see it where my finger's pointing, if that's a silver contact or just a weld point. There's another one down there. I can't see why they would be silver contacts. I think they may just be where they did a quick spot weld on it or to connect it. So yeah, I don't think that's silver. There is some sparkly shiny stuff in there on the bulb part itself, I guess. So I don't know if any of you have any experience or knowledge how these bulbs are put together and what's in these guys, you know, please let me know, because I'd be really curious. So for now I'm just going to hang on to these, and then if I have to, you know, at the end I'll just chuck them in with in the bin with some of the other stuff. Now the other nice thing that, let me walk you back here real quick and show you the other nice thing is that those globes are plastic. So it's real easy to bust those out and get rid of them so they don't shatter. You know, I was worried they were glass, but nope, they're just plastic. So that's cool. All right, well, I've got 3 more to get through when I charge up the batteries. That's what's stopping me right now. I ran out of juice, so I'm gonna have to go charge up the batteries. I had 3 fully charged batteries before I came out here, and they did okay, but gotta go charge them up again. So, all right, we'll talk to you later on. Okay, well, I am back on the job site. I recharged the 3 batteries. By the way, I'm using a DeWalt reciprocating saw, and I have a demo blade. It's demo for wood and metal, and as you can see, it's making pretty quick work now of this aluminum. Now it's interesting because the blade, sometimes you'll look at this blade and you'll think, well, wait a minute, it's not even moving, and that's just an artifact of the way it records. So I always think that's kind of funny, the way that plays out. Anyway, I'm back on the site. I'm starting to cut these things up, so I'm going to let you watch me work for a little bit. All right, and then the tops I have to do quite a bit of work on those still, but what I'll do here is I'll bust out this is plastic, not glass, so I can bust that off and take it to the dumpster. We're going to go ahead and show you that too while we're at it. Oh. Alright, so fortunately that's plastic. It's easy to break off. And I'll throw that in the bin. This part is aluminum. This is, once I take the screw to take that out, this is all aluminum. Another one of those great big light bulbs. And there's the, now this thing is heavy, so I got to figure out what's inside of here that is so heavy, but we'll do that back at the ranch. And that'll all go to the dumpster here in a minute. Okay, so these light poles are obviously way too long to put in the back of my pickup truck. So what you're going to see me do is measure out 6-foot sections. So I'm going to be cutting these things at 6 feet or less to fit in the truck, and then I just have to figure out, cut around certain things that are on the frame. So for instance, we got that arm is bolted on with stainless steel hardware, and there's a bolt bracket that's welded to the pole. So you'll see me cut on one side of that, and then that pole, by the way, that's like a flag arm kind of thing. That was also aluminum, and the nub on the end of it screws on with stainless steel hardware was aluminum. So these are pretty much aluminum and some stainless steel hardware and the copper wiring inside of them. So you're going to see me measure and cut kind of like cutting cordwood here. That's going to take a little while, but with this new blade that I'm using, it goes pretty quick. Now I want to point out some important safety features here for any new scrappers. You really want to be careful when you're doing this kind of stuff. I have steel-toed boots on. You see I've got my work gloves. My sunglasses are actually Oakley ballistic sunglasses, so they're protective as well. I've got hearing protection on. That's one of the things that most people don't think about is hearing protection. Some of these tools can get pretty loud, and you want to protect your hearing because we just don't think about that, and then as we get older and we get the ringing in the ears and we start yelling at each other because we can't hear each other. So I highly recommend that. I probably should have had a long sleeve shirt on because it was such a sunny day, but it was also mid to high 90s while I was out here cutting, so I just threw on this short sleeve shirt and had some suntan lotion on. All right, that's enough of me babbling. Let's go ahead and let you watch me do some work. This one got smashed out of round, so it was a little bit of a challenge. Nothing to hammer cable. I'll get you in a minute. Kind of reminds me of loading ammunition. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition, or in this case, aluminum. Don't want to lose my stainless steel. All right. My keys are in my pocket. I think I keep locking and unlocking my door. Yeah, some good old heavy duty wire in there and just copper. So that's a good thing. Solid copper core is probably going to strip down bare bright, so that'll be nice. Oh, and of course we have to have some Florida moss. This stuff is famous around here. It's really pretty up on the trees. In fact, I'll show you right up here. That tree right there is an example of the moss growing. Beautiful. And there's some forests where you walk through and it's just all that overhanging moss. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, well, we're about done with the on-site work here. I'm just putting a yellow caution flag on a section of conduit that's hanging out behind the truck there. You see over in the far left side, your far left side of the truck, there's a whole bunch of the metal conduit that I saved for last. We've got the bulk of the truck is filled up with the cut-up light pole tubes. And then over on the right-hand side, your right-hand side there in the truck, we've got the cast aluminum base sections and the light fixtures from the top of the light poles. Now I'm going to take a few minutes, pick up the trash, clean up the worksite area, throw that in the dumpster, and then I'm going to head back to the house. And we will figure out in part 2 what's making those light fixtures so heavy. If you want to take a guess, go ahead and drop some comments down below. What do you think is in those light fixtures that's making them so heavy? When I get done throwing away the trash here, I'll head on back and we will see you all in part 2 of this light pole scrap.